Welcome into the M&M State of Sports podcast. We have a very fun one tonight. We have two defensive linemen, two all-time great defensive linemen. We have Jason Taylor, who Morgan will be taking, and Julius Peppers, who I will be taking. We got the normal crew. Morgan, how are you doing tonight?
I'm living good. Fuck you, Russell Wilson.
That's the exact way I thought this podcast was going to start, so you did not disappoint. Mr. Nick, a.k.a. Stash Cuddy, how you living?
Good, I'm just worried, concerned Morgan's got mold on his head.
That's crazy. I wanted to really quick start off the podcast with an omission from our Thursday podcast with the betting. We brought up OBJ signing. Murph, a.k.a. Nocturnal, I'm wearing your merch. I am sorry we didn't bring up the Cam signing. He had 2 scores today. He played very well. I'm happy he's back in Carolina. I legitimately got chills when he started screaming to the camera, "I'm back," when he scored his first touchdown. It was a cool moment just to see him back in a Carolina uniform wearing one again. So Murph, again, from bottom of my heart, I'm sorry. I know Morgan's not sorry, but I'm sorry.
The number on his jersey is probably the amount of good seasons he has left too.
Jesus. All right.
Is his number 0?
Nick, what was the question from last week?
It was 0.5. Anyway, the question was, what sport do you think has the best uniform?
Yeah, let's get some answers.
Very simple. We had NHL, which we all said the NHL sweaters are pretty cool.
Realistically, our Seattle Kraken. I mean, Isaiah Thomas is a fan.
We fell again last night, but it's first year of our franchise. I mean,
I came into this season expecting a bumpy ride.
Yeah, for sure.
I was honestly thinking about gifting you guys Seattle Kraken merch for Christmas.
I would wear it.
First of all, I don't need you to gift me anything. I've got tons of it already. So.
I've got all game authentic worn jerseys, and I'm thinking about buying a tooth that the first player loses from the team.
Why isn't that a card? Just a little bubble with a tooth in it.
It's a great question.
Baseball. And then someone said WWE. So
interesting.
I don't hate it.
I'm not against it.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go back and change my answer because I think the best uniforms are college football uniforms, just because there's so many different colleges out there that can have different variations of uniforms.
You mean Oregon?
No. There's other colleges. I mean, UMaine going the all powder baby blues, fire. The U. We're going to be talking about Miami with this debate. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Nothing else before the debate. I think, Nick, you all go ahead and take on over, man. You're moderating.
All right. Julius Peppers, Jason Taylor, 2 very decorated players. I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say on this one because I think this is going to be a close debate based on their accolades.
I know for a fact Morgan's winning this debate.
Yeah.
Shout out B-Mart, the second Morgan says.
Morgan may have a dark horse in this race.
Morgan, you go ahead and start it because I already know exactly where this is going.
No, I want Matt to start it.
No.
Because I know where this is going. Matt, opening arguments.
Julius Peppers, number 2 overall pick. He's a 17-year pro, absolute athletic freak. He has 715 total tackles, 159.5 sacks all time, which is higher than Jason Taylor's, 79 pass deflections, 11 interceptions, which is more than Jason Taylor's, 55 forced fumbles, which is a ridiculous stat to have. And he has 6 defensive touchdowns. That's where I'm starting. I'm not going to go through the rest of the accolades. Go ahead, Morgan.
Well, all I really need to say is Jason Taylor is the brother of Joy Taylor. That really should be where my opening argument starts and ends, and the whole debate ends. I mean, that's a pretty simple argument on this podcast anyway, is Joy Taylor. But Jason Taylor played 15 years, 3 different teams.
Hold on. I can see the argument. I'm kidding. Go ahead. Sorry.
He's 15 years, 3 different teams. He has 46 forced fumbles as a lineman, which is tough. 7th in sacks at 139.5. He has the most fumbles returns for touchdowns as a lineman, and he's got the most interception returns for a defensive lineman as well. He was the 73rd pick in 97 versus Julius Pepper's 2nd pick overall. He has 775 tackles, which is more than Julius Pepper's. And, you know, he was the heart and soul of the Dolphins. Not that they had much of a heart and soul to that team, but
did they win anything?
No, they did
Neither
not.
did Carolina. So moving on. At least one guy went to a Super Bowl, one guy didn't.
I was gonna say, yeah, neither of a championship.
Yeah.
No. But one guy's got Troy Taylor's sister.
I mean, I've heard
So
anything else you guys have to say about these guys before I
Oh man.
All right. Yeah, who wants to take the first stab across?
I'll take the
I got
first.
it.
Oh, go ahead, Morgan. No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
So Julius Peppers only holds records for the Panthers because they've only been a team since 1995.
Okay. That's a very valid argument. My first stab across is Julius Peppers is higher on the all-time sack list than your boy, Jason Taylor.
He's played 2 more years.
Yeah, I was gonna say more games.
That's called longevity. Why do we?
I mean, 15 years for a defensive lineman. Playing for the Miami Dolphins feels like a 20-year career.
17 years playing for a franchise that hasn't been established. The Packers and the Bears as well. Like, come on. We're talking about longevity here. Let's get into the records right here. Because those
30 more games.
Excuse me. Those 55 career forced fumbles is the NFL record. That is the most forced fumbles by any player in NFL history. At the top, Julius Peppers. This man is walking in a first ballot Hall of Famer in 2024. It's not.
How many of those did he return though?
Does Jason Taylor own any NFL records minus most return touchdowns as a fumble for a touchdown or whatever?
I mean, got that one. That's a
record.
record.
To your point though, and not to fight for Morgan's side for a second, but to your point, being a shoe-in first ballot Hall of Famer, Jason Taylor is a Hall of Famer.
Correct. Wow. Julius Peppers
just
isn't eligible. This is the conversation we're having.
So that's not fair.
He is walking into the NFL Hall of Fame in 2024.
I wasn't even going to bring up the Hall of Fame stuff because it's not relevant.
But also, regarding his records, he is second most interceptions by a defensive lineman in NFL history with 9. 11 career interceptions, including time played as linebacker, which actually isn't bad. He has the most interception return yards by defensive lineman in NFL history with 192.
And how many touchdowns out of those?
He has 6 career touchdowns.
Oh, that's cute. Jason's got 9.
Congratulations. You beat me by 3 and I beat you in sacks. Easy peasy. He has 293 career interception return yards, including time played as a linebacker. We're dipping down through all these records right here. He's the only player in NFL history to record at least 100 sacks and 10 interceptions. Only player in NFL history with 100 plus sacks and 4 interceptions returned for a touchdown. Only player in NFL history with 150 sacks and 10 interceptions. Peppers has three career games with half a sack and an interception return for a touchdown. Those are the most such in NFL since the sack became an official statistic in 1982. Jason Taylor doesn't touch any of those fucking stats. Go ahead, Nick.
I'd like to interject as moderator. Morgan, I'm hearing a lot of only player this and that. Anything you have to say to any of those?
I mean, Julius Peppers played on much better teams.
The Panthers? He went to 1 Super Bowl with Jake Delhomme as his quarterback.
You want to talk quarterbacks? You want to bring up fucking quarterbacks? Do you want to know the quarterbacks of Jason Taylor's teams? Here's
my question. The quarterback does not affect him being the only player in NFL history to do things as a defensive player.
Did Julius Peppers ever lead the league in sacks? Did he ever lead the league in sacks?
No.
Did he ever lead the league in sacks?
Only player in NFL history on defense is an individual. It's not on offense like Jerry Rice, where Jerry Rice relies on a quarterback. Only player in NFL history on defense actually fucking means something.
I would have to side with Matt here with the fact that the person who is playing quarterback is irrelevant to what he achieves on defense.
I mean, he just brought up going to the Super Bowl with Jake Cologne as quarterback.
I'm not going off the Super Bowl. The question I asked was only player to do blank.
Well, I know my guy has won a Defensive Player of the Year.
My guy has as well.
We both have.
2004 NFC.
2002 for Peppers and 2006
NFC.
Taylor.
He was the NFC. Julius Peppers, Jason Taylor's 2 AFC and 1 NFL.
Okay, well, then here's my question to you. How many all-decade teams is Jason Taylor on? It's 1 compared to Julius Peppers, who was 2. 2000s and 2010s.
He played longer.
It doesn't that why are we punishing somebody for fucking playing longer? Like what is that argument? Like it's so stupid. You're better than that.
Again, Jason Taylor led the league in sacks.
Dude,
now all right.
So you keep bringing up sacks. He never led the league in sacks.
I have listed all-time records that he's the only player in NFL history. Can Jason Taylor say he's the only player in NFL history for fucking anything besides being Joy Taylor's brother?
I
mean, do I need anything else?
I'm gonna say no, but as my job, I have to ask. Yeah, I mean, well, Taylor does have the 2007 recipient of the Walter Payton Award. Morgan, do you want to speak on that?
I mean, he's a charitable guy. I don't know what more you want from him. I mean, he's got his Jason Taylor Foundation, which led to his Jason Taylor Reading Room, which is an after-school reading program for improving illiteracy in inner city kids. And he also provided 11 sixth grade students with college scholarships as well. So,
Matt, Julius Peppers, no Walter Payton recipient.
Oh, well.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know the man personally. I don't know
he was too busy.
He was too busy
the first player to do stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like what the fuck. I mean, let's actually take this back to college, where Julius Peppers actually played at Morgan's favorite university, the University of North Carolina, and he was a dual sport athlete. Not only did he play football at the highest level, he played basketball at the highest level.
Played.
He was on the team.
Yeah. Jason Taylor was also a two-sport athlete.
At Akron, who gives a shit?
He was a starter for the Akron basketball team. He started.
Garbage. Trash, and it's trash, sir. Does he have his jersey retired at Akron? I would assume so, because that college is so fucking small.
Okay, now how about this question?
I want to know Jason Taylor's college accolades. Does he have any?
He was National Defensive Player of the Week as a junior against your Virginia Tech Hokies. 12 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries, 3 tackles for a loss, and a forced safety on the punter.
Did he win? Did he win any actual awards at the end of the year?
That's an award.
Okay. Chuck Bednarik Award. Julius.
What was that name?
Bednarik. I think it's the best defensive lineman in the NCAA. You want to know what else?
Say it.
No. You know what else? Julius Peppers won, Morgan, and I know this award is near and dear to your heart. He won the Lombardi Award. That cheese head you're wearing, kind of a big deal. He was a unanimous All-American. That's why he was the number 2 pick in the draft. You talk about a dude. No. I'm not done fucking talking. You talk about a dude that has these high expectations. Nick fucking laughing, throwing me off. You talk about a dude having these high expectations, being number 2 in the NFL draft and coming in and absolutely going above and beyond, exceeding them. That's impressive. How many number 2 picks have folded?
Versus a 3rd round pick who overachieved in his career.
Okay, so Morgan is a good segue to one of my points I was about to make from Matt to try and give a rebuttal. How many number 2 picks have folded?
A lot.
You just asked. How many 73rd picks have well exceeded expectation?
Probably less than.
Well, I mean, I know a guy that won 199 that has exceeded all expectations.
Nobody is fucking Tom Brady. Jesus Christ.
Edward Brady
I think Giselle is fucking Tom Brady, for the record. And
Giselle or Joy Taylor? I know who I'm taking.
Son of a bitch.
No, but to that point though, 73rd overall compared to 2nd overall, we're having this conversation. Does that not speak to Jason Taylor's credit?
No, because the thing is there's no expectations. With Julius Peppers, he walks into expectations being the number 2 pick in the draft, having to live up to these expectations. Jason Taylor, once you hit the 3rd round, it's, you're expecting a starter, you're expecting a productive player, not necessarily a Hall of Famer. I'm not trying to dodge Jason Taylor. He is awesome. But like the expectations and like the level of that shit is just completely different.
So you think the expectations for somebody who goes higher in the draft is
harder to live up to.
Tougher
Yes.
thing to overcome? Okay.
100%.
Morgan, what do you think?
Would you rather live up to your expectations or exceed your expectations?
Julius Peppers exceeded his expectations. He's 4th all time in sacks.
When you get picked 2nd in the NFL draft, you are expected to pretty much be a Hall of Famer.
And he's going to be 1st ballot. A Hall of Famer doesn't mean going in on your 3rd or 4th or 5th or 6th ballot. He's going in 1st ballot. He's 4th all time in sacks. This is an absurd statement of you to say. Like
my guy's 6th and he was drafted 70 picks later.
Who cares?
Me. I don't understand.
Now with almost 30 more games, why isn't he eligible yet?
Because he retired in 2017, 18.
Yeah, something like that.
So you got to wait 5 years to be eligible. So 2024, he's eligible.
It's a lot more games. It's like 3 seasons.
But like, I don't understand why we're punishing longevity. Like it's our argument for why we think, Nick and I think LeBron can eventually, beat Jordan. We're punishing somebody for longevity. That's such a stupid way to do it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I want to get into some all-star stuff. One's 9-time Pro Bowl, one's 6.
Julius Peppers is just better. It's simple.
I mean,
how many all pro teams do you have?
4.
I have 6. Better.
They have the same amount of first teams.
Yeah, I was going to say, you guys are both looking at 3 first all teams, right?
Still better. Still longevity. Still better. 2 more. It's Julius Peppers is a better football player than Jason Taylor. The only lane Morgan has in this argument is fucking Joy Taylor. It's a great lane. Don't get me wrong.
We're gonna go with a normal question. You guys probably saw it coming. Swap their careers. Who do you think has more success?
Jason Taylor, by far.
Why is that?
Because Julius Peppers had far better coaching. Julius Peppers
is just a better football player than Jason Taylor. It doesn't matter. He's a better football player.
Coaching that. Go look at the Packers defense last year versus this year with a different coordinator. We are stopping teams versus.
Are we talking about the
Points.
Packers? Are we talking about the Packers? Or are we talking about Julius Peppers and Jason Taylor?
I'm just saying.
Talking about whatever you want.
Jason Taylor went through 7 coaches in his time in Miami. 7 of his 13 years.
Cool.
That's 7 different systems.
Julius Pepper played a part. Played defense for fucking Jay Cutler's Chicago Bears. Good job, dude.
With Brian Urlacher and Lance Briggs and Peanut Tillman.
Okay, so you're punishing him for playing with good players? Like,
no,
I don't understand what your argument
is. Okay, so
dude, Julius Peppers, if he goes to Miami, he fucking wreaks havoc. Are you kidding me? He's fucking Julius Peppers.
So what Morgan said, do you think that there's less pressure for him to perform well being with better players?
Yes.
No, dude, Julius Peppers was the main thing on his defenses. Always. He was always doubled. He was always the guy that going into every week, you go, we got to stop Julius Peppers.
And he couldn't be.
And he couldn't. I mean, dude, he's literally, I'm sure, Jason Taylor has franchise records, franchise leader in sacks, forced fumbles, longest interception return of 97 yards. A defensive lineman who is 6'6", like fucking 285, ran 97 yards. Are you kidding me, Jeff Van Gundy?
Yeah, Julius Peppers was a big dude, 295.
Yeah, running a 4.7 40. Like, that's a scary fucking man. Like, that's like the size of Jason in the movies.
Yikes. Morgan?
Oh, also, I have another record. Julius Peppers also has the 2nd most blocked kicks in NFL history. So not only was he making an impact on defense, he was 13. He was making
13 blocked kicks.
Yeah.
13 block kicks. Not only was he making an impact on defense, he was also making an impact on special teams.
That's a lot of block kicks.
Yeah.
I'm excited when I see one ever.
UNC basketball player. He's got hops, man. You know?
I mean, Jason Taylor blocked 2 field goals and had 2 safeties for us, too. Not 13, but
you're literally 11 behind.
They played a different position on the field goal units.
Oh, my gosh.
Jason Taylor was on the inside. Peppers was on the outside. Most guys who get blocks are on the outside of the line.
Matt, I'll ask you. Versatility.
Julius Peppers, he played linebacker and defensive line. Simple. Game over. No response. Just move on to the next part.
I mean, Jason Taylor also played linebacker and defensive line.
I mean, at like linebacker, like how many picks does he have all time?
Picks?
Yeah,
he's
interceptions.
got 1, 2, 1. No,
He's 1 interception.
no, he's got. I mean, total, he's got 1, 2, 3, 8 total.
Okay, well, Julius Peppers has 11. How many pass deflections does he have?
94.
Pretty high.
you want to back up that, Les? you want to back that up a little bit?
Pretty high. Matt,
I think that was
back that up a little bit.
I think that was the best response to have to that.
Because I had it ready to go. I knew it was coming.
I mean,
granted, yeah, we're not saying that either of these dudes are shit. So
I mean, here's the thing: he had 79 pass deflections all the time, but also he had 82. So it's weird. So it's third most passes defense by defensive lineman in NFL history was 68, 82 career, including time played as linebacker. So obviously he was versatile enough to play linebacker. And I know Morgan should know Julius Peppers was versatile playing for his Green Bay Packers. Let's talk about that time with Julius Peppers in Green Bay. How was that for you, Morgan?
It was horrible.
Wasn't he near and dear to your heart?
No. You know why? Because they fucking lost to Seattle with him. I'll never forget that.
Well, I mean, you can blame that on me. That's my fault.
Yeah. The only thing I associate with the Peppers years is heartbreak in the playoffs. 14 was Seattle, 15 was San Fran, 2016 was Atlanta.
Is that his fault?
Yeah, he's on the team. His fault.
You are a different man. You know that, right? I mean, how many double-digit sack seasons does Jason Taylor have?
6.
Julius Peppers has 10.
What was his career high in sacks in a season, though?
Not as many as Jason Taylor.
Yeah, I know. Jason Taylor had an 18.5 sack season, a 14.5 sack season.
Couldn't keep. Hey, he couldn't keep that motor running for long, though, now, could he?
I mean, he still played. I mean, in the 2000s, he literally had 10 sack seasons.
Just because you played didn't mean you were playing later on in life. You know what I mean? Julius Peppers, his entire career was always
still
playing.
On the 2000s all-decade team.
Julius Peppers is on 2 all-time decade teams. Not 1.
That's true.
2.
2000s and 2010s.
Easy.
Yeah, that's because Jason Taylor played 2 seasons in the 2010s and 3 in the 90s. Most of his career was in the 2000s.
Sounds like a you problem, not a me problem.
All right. What do you think? Well, we'll start with Matt. These players' crowning achievement was in their career.
I honestly think for Julius Peppers, it was being an all-time great Panther for a new franchise, obviously, but also still going to 2 prominent all-time franchises in the Chicago Bears and Green Bay Packers and having continued success over 17 years. I mean, the longevity is just incredible for what he was able to accomplish on a football field. And honestly, the amount of forced fumbles, that's ridiculous.
A lot.
And I mean, it's very rare. And this is a similar Andre Johnson, Steve Smith debate that we had, that Julius Peppers has only played in NFL history. Jason Taylor doesn't have that. There's been other dudes that have accomplished what Jason Taylor has. Sorry, that's my last point.
Morgan, crowning achievement for Jason Taylor.
I want to say it was his 2002 season when he led the league in sacks, but his defensive player of the year season in 2006 13 and a half sacks, 9 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, 2 INTs, both returned for touchdowns. So I'd probably say it's the 2006 just season, his defensive player of the year.
I'm going to say something really quick that Morgan dropped the ball on. He literally should have just said, being Joy Taylor's brother.
All right. We're nearing the end here. Closing arguments.
I mean,
Who wants
Julius,
to start?
yeah, Julius Peppers is just a better all-time player. Simple and plain. The only thing Morgan has in this argument is Jason Taylor being Joy Taylor's brother, which is fair point. But that's it. Julius Peppers is better at football than Jason Taylor. And probably basketball, considering he played for UNC.
Morgan.
UNC is gross. I mean, obviously, he's brother of Joy Taylor. But he also was a runner-up on Dancing with the Stars. So he's also a notably great dancer.
You have to bring up Dancing with the Stars to try to win an argument.
I mean, it's pretty cool.
I'm going to start calling you Mr. Rogers because you're trying to throw a Hail Mary to win this.
I mean, the only reason he lost was because he lost to a figure skater, Christy Yamaguchi.
I
Or
mean,
he would have been a Dancing with the Stars champion. But I just think when it comes down to it, Jason Taylor played on much worse teams. He played on a Miami Dolphins franchise that just is consistently inconsistent. And, you know, he's Joy Taylor's brother.
All right. I've reached my verdict. And I reached it a long time ago. Both great players. Obviously, you guys both brought solid arguments. One brought a more solid argument than the other right off the bat. And I want to say, despite the late sleeper of information that I didn't know about Dancing with the Stars, which I don't know why you wouldn't have led with that. It's gonna go Julius Peppers. We circled around, and just basically my first question, just the only player ever to blank, and really couldn't fill that void with anything that Jason Taylor's done. If you had to look at it on paper, obviously both great players, but the way that the arguments were presented, Jason Taylor is a great player. Julius Peppers is an outstanding player. And that's what I got from the arguments that were brought today. So I'm giving it to Peppers. But Morgan,
you must hate Joy Taylor then.
I can assure you that would be not the truth.
Morgan, firm handshakes in the chat.
I love Joy Taylor just as much as I don't give a shit about Dancing with the Stars. So
Come on, Morgan, shake my hand.
No.
I'm gonna need to see a handshake. A little higher, Morgan. The Joy Taylor argument's done.
It's all over.
Yeah.
Moving on to the weekly wrap up. Let's get into the NBA first. We had a little tussle, as the kids would say. Nikola Jokic versus Markeith Morris. It was Markeith, right?
Yeah.
Markeith Morris, the shoving match. First off, I want to know your guys' opinion about this. Then I'll give my opinion about this. You guys go ahead first.
Okay. He hit Jokic.
Yep. Morris hit Jokic. Yep.
First.
Yep.
And Jokic retaliated. I don't think Jokic did anything wrong.
Morgan.
If you want the smoke, you better want the smoke. Because when it comes back at you, you better be ready for it and not acting like I'm gonna go hide behind my teammates now. So good for Jokic. He did what he should have. I would have done the same thing.
You
But
can't
I
just
would-
smack
I
someone
would-
and like walk away.
My biggest
wouldn't
thing-
mess with the man like Jokic. He's big and his brothers are.
He's
fucking
from fucking
scary.
Serbia, a war-torn country. What are you doing, Morris?
Yeah.
Like, bro, congratulations. You beat the shit out of a bunch of frat dudes at Kansas when you were there playing basketball. Good fucking job. But, like, literally, Jokic is from a war-torn country. Like, and first off, Morris, you should have never turned your back to him. He's fucking way bigger than you. And his brothers look like they will literally go on the court and murder you at half court.
He's
for
the
fun.
smallest Jokic.
Like they are huge. Like it's unfathomable how big that these dudes actually are.
And then the whole thing of
it was.
I think the more pussy thing is all the Heat players waiting outside the.
Yeah, what the fuck's Jimmy Butler gonna do? Shut the fuck up, dude. Jimmy Butler is the fakest tough guy in the NBA.
That whole team is fake tough guys. Outside of probably Bam. I think Bam could handle his own, but the rest of them are fake.
Give Mr. Larry his respect as well.
Well, I forget. I think Udonis is still there too, and he's
so
no disrespect to Udonis here.
There's a few select on that team. Like what's Tyler Hero gonna do? Like
his clip was so funny. He's like, oh, all right, I did my job. I went towards my teammate.
I saw the picture of them waiting in the wings.
Some soft shit.
Like, what are you gonna do?
Well, yeah. Dude, bro, Jokich's brothers, just two of them, would wipe up the entire Miami Heat team by themselves.
Yeah,
minimum.
Like I said, if you want the smoke, you better want the smoke, because when it comes back at you,
like, don't get into a fight and then be mad that you're in a fight.
Correct.
Yeah, DK.
Fucking dumb.
I could not agree more. Let's move on to our next NBA subject. Steph Curry has already passed Ray Allen for the most all-time threes. How many do you think this man ends up with? Like over Ray Allen? Like,
I don't care.
I mean, he's probably gonna end up
thousands,
close.
Right?
I was gonna say at least 1,000.
You think he beats him by 1,000?
Yeah. Shooters can always shoot. He's not gonna lose that ability even in his later career. Like he's gonna. I mean, he puts up close to 200 made threes a year, roughly.
He's probably got what? Like, how old is he? Like
34.
Minimum 6 years left, right? Yeah, he's getting.
I mean, he's a shooter. Yeah.
How many more championships do you think he gets?
2.
You think he actually gets 2 more championships?
I'm pretty certain he's going to get at least 1. I think 2. I mean, this team right now, Jordan Poole is balling. Wiggins is balling. You give that with Steph Curry.
We talked about it last week. I've seen them at their peak and they lost. So
playoff basketball is different, man. It is. I mean, completely different beast.
The Lakers even going to be able to field the team then?
I'm not even talking about the Lakers.
AD is going to get hurt.
I'm not talking about the Lakers. There's other teams in the West that can beat them.
Who?
Phoenix.
Yeah. Real scary team there.
That being said, LeBron James will probably be going back for his 5th championship. Moving on in the NBA, Ja Morant is that fucking dude, averaging 26, 6, and 7. He's a beast.
I said, Matt even knows. I called him. He's better than Zion. He's going to be better than Zion.
Does anybody know what
he's already better than Zion
right now?
Oh, he's been better than Zion.
He's eating. Eating his way through rehab. He's over 300 pounds. Trying to rehab a foot injury. Like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
He's the Eddie Lacy of the NBA.
Dude, Eddie Lacy. No, see, that's disrespectful because Eddie Lacy was not as good as Zion Williamson could be at basketball.
I don't know. Eddie was.
You're talking to me. 2 years. You're talking to me about Alabama running backs. Like, I don't know. Meet this guy.
And you're talking about a Duke basketball player. It's one of the same.
I mean, Zion is extremely athletic.
He's a freak athletically, but he's always hurt.
I agree.
Ja Morant's just
he's that dude.
That dude. I said last year was a top 5 point guard. He might be top
rookie of the year.
No, Ja Morant.
Really quick. Speaking of the NBA, there's one thing that isn't on the weekly wrap up that I do want to touch on. Do we know that the Wizards are the 1 seed in the East?
I did not know that.
I mean, what are we 12 games in? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, so here's my question to you guys: is this sustainable for the Wizards?
No.
Hell no.
Do you think they make the playoffs?
Is Larry Hughes on the team?
Is he going to spark the comeback run?
It's a hard no.
Outside of Bradley Beal, I don't think I know anybody on that team.
They got Kuzma, Harrell. They got they signed Spencer Dinwiddie from Brooklyn, who's been playing pretty well.
They're not going to do anything.
No.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying they're going to do anything, but do they make the playoffs is my question.
No, they're still the Wizards.
Me saying they're not going to do anything means they're not going to do anything.
Okay. That's it. That's all I got. We're moving on. Let's get into some college football news. Is Cincinnati a playoff team? All the top 6 teams win. Oklahoma falls to Baylor in Baylor. I actually watched that game. It was one of the first college football games I watched this year. It was a good game. What do we think about the college football playoff? I kind of wanted to start talking about it here as we're getting closer. My question for Morgan is, I know he's into college football, is does Bama still get in with 2 losses?
I mean, absolutely. Bama's the second best team in the country. They could have 3 losses. I still think they'd get it.
Do you think they dropped to 4 or some shit if they lose again?
No, I think they'll go to 3.
That's
They're
crazy.
not gonna. If they lose to Georgia in the SEC championship game, they're not gonna put them at the 4 to play Georgia again in the playoff. They'll put them at the 3, and they'll just mollywop whoever the 2 seed is, and then we'll have Georgia and Alabama in the national championship.
Boom, easy. How do we think it's going to end in the Big Ten? Do we think Michigan has any chance?
No.
I was watching that game a little bit on a Saturday, and they didn't look like over the top terrific. So,
I mean, that's how they always play.
Yeah.
They don't.
Penn State.
They could go perfect all the way up until they play Ohio State, and they're going to lose to Ohio State 9 times out of 10. They just don't beat them.
That is brutally upsetting.
I mean, Wisconsin's playing good football right now. They may win the Big Ten.
All right.
Too much.
A little. Let's move over to the NFL. Nick, how's your fantasy team doing?
I'm afraid to look.
I think you should look.
I think I do think the pace was I'm winning if I had to guess, because the other dude's players were like scoring no points. Yeah, I'm winning by a lot. 121 to 51. So
nice.
That's gonna be a lock. That's gonna be 2 weeks two wins in a row.
Are we calling this a fantasy comeback for you?
I
win one more. That's
so.
what you call a winning streak.
I mean, even last week I wasn't in last still.
I mean, the biggest thing
good.
is you just got to get in the playoffs. Morgan, are you winning your matchup?
Not yet, but I've got 4 players left, and I'm only
we were
17
talking
points.
I'm gonna let you guys know though, right off the bat, I'm not starting Patrick Mahomes next week.
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I'm gonna start Trevor Lawrence.
I think they're playing Cleveland next week.
Patrick Mahomes has done shit for me 3 weeks in a row.
I will trade you.
Granted, this week
Carson Wentz for Trevor Lawrence.
He's only in the first.
No, but like I will trade you Carson Wentz for Trevor Lawrence.
I don't know if
what is the purpose of that trade?
Yeah, I don't know.
I just want to have Trevor Lawrence on my team.
Why?
All right, Morgan, barking dogs of the week. Go.
Well, my barking dogs up until about 7:26 was going to be Cam Newton for scoring 2 touchdowns, but he's out. AJ Dillon's in. Comes in, 21 carries, 66 yards rushing, 62 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns rushing, sealing the win for Green Bay. I got to give it to my boy AJ Dillon. Defensively, we're staying in the same game. The Green Bay defense gets the barking dog of the week. They shut out Russell Wilson for the first time in his career. Eat shit, Russell Wilson.
Oh, brother, is this guy a homer?
It was a good week for Green Bay. What do you want from me?
Stash. You throwing anybody in the stash can?
You know what? Come back to me with that question because I had a couple options.
Will do. I got 2 teams going to the cooler. Morgan informed me before we started. I already threw one of these teams in there. They're getting rethrown in because they fucking stink. Cleveland, you're in. Get in the cooler. It's over.
That game was horrid.
It's over. Speaking of the Green Bay
pretty.
game, Seattle, Russell Wilson, you'll be missing the playoffs for the first time in your career. Hop on in the cooler. You're out of here.
Yeah, they didn't make it last year.
Let's yeah, they did. He's never missed the playoffs in his career. Nice try.
Also, that Sunday
No,
night game started early this week, huh?
No,
I mean-
starts the same time every week.
Really? 8:30? I thought it was 9.
Nah,
Nope.
8:30 or 8, honestly. Let's get into the recaps. Miami. You guys told me not to take Miami.
And I don't think you
Miami.
actually did take Miami.
I didn't know. Miami with the upset over the Ravens, 22-10. Is this an anomaly for Baltimore, or has Lamar Jackson played in too many close games?
I think it's an anomaly.
I do not.
I agree.
I think the Ravens play a lot like the Chargers do, where they just get in tough situations where they're either digging out of a hole or it's close late.
Consistently.
They just don't have enough talent to finish those games off.
They don't bury teams like they should. They don't.
No. They don't have that killer mentality when you've got them close and you bury them like the Bills did today, or the Patriots.
This is going to be an outrageous take after what happened today. And I haven't said it on the podcast, but I have the Pittsburgh Steelers winning that AFC North. Even with the tie today, I looked at the schedule, kind of ran it down. They didn't have Big Ben today, so it's understand. Like, I get it. It was a shitty fucking game.
No, it is not understandable.
It's coming
the Detroit
down.
Lions.
I'm telling you right now, it's coming down to week 17 in Baltimore. Pittsburgh in Baltimore. And Pittsburgh is going to get the win to win the AFC North. I can feel it. Feel it. Let's move on to Knicks. Cowboy. How about damn Cowboys? Cowboys bounce back in a big run of the Falcons and our dicks for going to 2, up 31 points, 43-3. Nick, how you feeling?
Feeling good. And actually, I'm going to put the Falcons in the stash can.
Get them out. I still think they make the playoffs, honestly.
Gonzo.
It's fair.
Was looking it up out there. The Cowboys' biggest margin of victory since 2000.
Damn. Morgan, any thoughts on that game?
I should stop putting my faith in the Falcons when I take them for gambling picks.
I tried to tell you. To tell you.
Did not cover the 9.5 point spread.
Let's actually bring up the gambling picks, Morgan. Morgan, how'd you do this week in gambling?
I split 2-2, so not bad. Stayed above 500.
Morgan, how am I doing in gambling this week?
You are, I believe, 3-0 going into your last game, which I think is tomorrow, right? I think you have the Rams tomorrow. 49ers over.
That is exactly what I have. People, listen, if you want to make money, you tune in every Thursday night on YouTube, every Friday morning via podcast.
Yeah, closing in on 70% for the year.
I'm closing in on 70% on these picks. I'm trying to make you money.
I got a question.
Shoot.
Dak Prescott.
Good.
Is this guy good?
Very good.
He's average.
He's very good.
I think he's above average.
He's making throws that I never thought Dak Prescott could make. It is very impressive.
No interceptions today. 296 yards.
I think he's a top 7 quarterback.
Coming off of a not so great game.
I've said he's just in the top 10. I don't think
he's on all cylinders today, I believe.
I'll stay with that take. I wouldn't change that. He's got so much talent around him.
And again, here we go for punishing somebody that has talent around them. Jesus Christ. Moving on, New Orleans versus Tennessee. Titans win 23-21. Morgan has one word note on this game. Gross.
I mean, I'm just being honest. Well, I mean, there's no Derrick Henry. What's the point of watching the Titans? There's no Jameis.
Was Trevor Simeon. That dude stinks.
Yeah,
the Saints are so fucking boring.
Both those teams are kind of boring.
Well, I lost fantasy. Tyreek Hill just
without Derrick Henry, the Titans are boring.
I mean, they're still winning games though. They have a pass rush now, which I haven't seen them have in like fucking years.
I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, like, where did that come from? Is that scheme?
It's got to be Vrabel. It's really got to be Vrabel because he gets those guys going and they play very well. But
fucking strange.
And the Titans now leading the AFC, which I believe Matt said when I said they were going to win 14 games, you called me nuts.
I still think you're nuts.
I mean, they're playing really good.
I'm not going to believe a team with Ryan Tannehill is the best team in the AFC.
Oh, I didn't say they were the best team. I didn't say they were going to be the best team. They may have the best record, but they're not going to.
We'll get to the best team here coming very soon. But we got a game before. My Jacksonville Jaguars come back to reality as the Colts control the game. Colts win 23-17, but the Jags covered.
The Jaguars stink.
They fucking blow, dude. Jesus Christmas. The fact that like there's these expectations for like Trevor Lawrence to like win these fucking games as a rookie with no talent around him is absurd. Like, just be patient. They need an influx of talent. It's years in the making. I mean, it's not overnight.
His most talented player got hurt.
I mean, honestly, Trevor Lawrence's best player.
Out, right?
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence's best player thinks he's a pirate. Because he hurt his leg.
See Trevor Lawrence.
I
What?
mean,
Where would you like to see Trevor Lawrence play?
Jacksonville. What do you mean? I don't want to see him
Would you move
leave.
him?
No,
their leading rusher today was a wide receiver.
it's great. It's all good. It's great.
They suck.
Yeah, they stink.
And
All
most
right.
of it came on a 66-yard touchdown.
It was great. It was a good run.
White Jesus ain't helping them. Like,
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the Cleveland New England game. Morgan, I would like you
Jesus
to read the
Christ.
note
You
that
want
you
me to
wrote.
read the note?
I want you to read the note.
Hold on, I don't even remember what I wrote. Let me pull it up.
I
real quick.
remember what you wrote. Come on.
Oh, that. Yeah, I mean, Matt called it. Well, I sort of called it with the Pats too, saying that they're probably the best team in the
Nope,
AFC,
keep going. There's
and they're going to
more.
make a run.
There's more. Come
But
on.
Baker got hurt. But Matt's probably right. He's not playing well. He probably stinks.
Thank you.
He's hurt. He's hurt, so I can't really judge him on that.
He got hurt in the third quarter when they were already down by like 30.
I got a question.
Shoot.
Is Mac Jones that motherfucker?
Yes. Bro, that throw he had to Kendrick Bourne was literally, I'm putting my dick out on the table, touchdown. It was insane. Double coverage, threw it up there. I was like, damn, Mac. I tweeted about it. It was so good.
They are, we said it last week, but I'm going to reiterate it. They are fucking moving right now.
Oh, yeah. They're moving and grooving. I think they're the best team in the AFC.
I have to agree with you.
Glad you guys are jumping on board because I said that last week. And I hate the Patriots.
You're going to see him Thursday night, though.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Yeah, you're going to have to hop on the Zoom while we're there to do the gambling picks.
Yeah, because I won't get to the stadium till like 6.
Live from Magic City.
Live from Magic City.
I'm
The
not
big dog
taking
in VIP.
I am not taking my 14-year-old nephew to Magic City.
Why not? He needs to learn.
Those are things he's gonna remember.
My sister would absolutely kill me.
Would she, or would she be proud of you?
She would not be proud of me.
He's gonna remember that from years to come.
That is true.
Years to
come.
Yeah, we're just going for the wings, right?
That's it. That's it. The lemon pepper, Lou Will lemon pepper. You know what I mean? Trying to get that.
come for the wings, stay for them things.
All right. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. We are back from our quick commercial break, folks. We are hopping right back into the Buffalo Bills versus New York Jets. Bills get back on track after losing to the Jaguars down in Duval. They win 45-17. Mike White is not the solution for the New York Jets that they thought.
Ew.
Definitely back to Zach Wilson. Any thoughts on this game besides the fact that the Bills did what they were supposed to do?
I mean, I think the Bills are probably, I don't know, tied with New England, best team in the AFC.
I think so. I agree with that.
Their defense is just insane.
Very fast.
Tre'Davious White is something special outside because that dude covers so much ground if he gets burned. He forces you to go one way or the other. Like, he's so good.
Phenomenal makeup speed, that entire team. And
Oh,
they fly around.
Great.
I mean, they don't fly around like the Packers do, but they fly around.
I mean,
let's talk about
Singletary came back, right?
Let's talk about the shit show of the week. Detroit versus Pittsburgh. No Big Ben leads to a tie with the Lions. Congrats on not losing. 16-16.
For the Lions.
Here's the thing, is that tie for Pittsburgh without Big Ben, I think is actually a big deal going forward for them making the playoffs. They're going to get in the playoffs somehow because the AFC is like
Steelers.
It stinks like to a degree. I think the NFC is very top heavy, like the first 4 very good, and then it really falls off. But like the AFC has a little more consistency. I just think that tie is going to get Pittsburgh into the playoffs somehow.
The tie is helpful. I mean, if they win the division, they get in. So
yeah,
as you're stating.
I mean,
I think I might have a bolder take. I don't think Baltimore makes playoffs.
I don't hate that take.
I think they're just stuck in this situation.
Shit.
We think this is a turnaround game for the Detroit Lions.
No.
So you want to hear my live text feed with my buddy who's a Lions fan, just to see how down bad Lions fans are right now?
That dude's on suicide watch.
So he
Make me spit out my drink.
His first text to me was, "I would rather have lost, but 0-16-1 would be a pretty funny record to have." I came back with, "I would prefer them to tie again to go 0-15-1." He came back with 0-8-9. It's gonna happen. 9 straight ties to end the season.
I love it.
You don't have to beat anybody. You just got to match them.
Really quick, there's something I want to bring up on the podcast, and I should have brought it up when we recapped the first game of the Miami Dolphins and Ravens, so I apologize. Our friend and our guest, John Smith, called me Saturday and goes, "I have a prediction." And I go, "Shoot, like let me hear this." He goes, "I think the Miami Dolphins only lose one more game the rest of the year and make the playoffs."
What's
And
the
he read
schedule
this,
looking like?
and he read the schedule to me, and it is actually, I could see the vision on it. I really, really can.
What's their next game?
I'm pulling it up right now. Just give me one
Jets
moment.
next game, Panthers after
When
that.
Panthers look good
Giants.
today.
Giants,
they're not gonna
Jets,
beat the Panthers.
Saints, Titans, Patriots.
They're not going to beat the Panthers.
I think they lose to the Panthers and Titans.
They're gonna lose 4 more games.
You think they beat the Patriots at the end?
No.
It's always a toss-up between them.
Well, here's the thing, though, is the Patriots are going down to Miami, which is always hard for them. But John,
So he says he doesn't think they're going to lose another one.
he thinks they're going to lose one more game instead of the Titans.
One more?
One more.
I think they
And
lose to the Panthers.
he goes,
Up until the test.
he goes, "I think it'll be 9-8, and I think they'll beat the Patriots to get into the playoffs." I you know what? I see
like-
the vision with it.
I like.
I think he was.
hopefulness, but
I think he
he's
was.
wrong.
You know, he watched the game of football. It reminded him of old school football, the way Miami played, hard nosed, running the football. You know, taking care of business. I see the vision with it. It could happen. I'm not going to say he's crazy because anything can happen in the NFL.
I'm gonna have a hot take. I think they lose to the Jets.
I also said that.
All right. Well, I just want to get his prediction on here so he knows. John
mean,
Smith, you can
come
yell
on.
at Morgan and Nick. I believe in you. I don't believe in the Dolphins, but I believe in you.
Come on, the Dolphins lost to the Jaguars.
Let's talk about
Come on,
the
In London.
upset.
In London, it doesn't count.
Excuse me. The Jaguars beat Buffalo last weekend. Are
In
we
a
quickly
totally
forgetting?
different country.
Are we
I am forgetting because who cares?
Wait, what did you say? They beat them last week?
I do.
Guess who remembered?
Me.
Not me.
One.
Moving
person.
on. Let's talk about the upset of the week. Tampa Bay versus Washington. Is Brady age starting to show as the Bucs are very inconsistent? Washington loses Chase Young to a torn ACL. Washington wins 29-19.
Yeah. The whole age thing to me is a non-story because the fact that his age hasn't showed until now is a testament to him anyway.
Sure.
So that doesn't bother me.
Sure.
But I mean, he threw 2 interceptions. Not terrific.
Not great, Bob.
I still think Tampa Bay is probably going to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, probably.
So there's that. He was 23 for 34. I'm looking at 220 yards, 2 TDs. So
Yeah, he played fine.
overall, he played fine. And yeah, just to reiterate, the age thing is a non-factor for me because the fact that he's even playing at this level at this age anyway.
I mean, yeah, it's him and Vinny Testaverde have played this long.
Well, you watch your mouth. Vinny Testaverde's got a restaurant chain. Tom Brady doesn't.
I love Vinny Testaverde.
I love Vinny Testaverde as well.
With Brady, part of the turnovers thing is just the Bruce Arians offense. Because, I mean, Arians' offense is always just big play, chunk plays. That's how Arians has always run his offense. Brady, I think now granted, it's Brady. So he's lost some of his accuracy, which still means his accuracy is better than about 95% of the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean,
But for Brady, his accuracy is down a little bit.
I think the only thing concerning for that team is that like the receiving core he has with that team.
Is always hurt.
Yeah. So I think that's the most concerning
Always.
part.
Because, I mean, Brown's either who knows what that man's doing on any given day.
Hey,
Gronk
leave
is
him alone.
questionable. Gronk is questionable all the time.
Evans is always Evans is a dog. Listen, I love Mike Evans, but that dude is always playing through some sort of an injury.
So I think if they don't make the Super Bowl, I do think they're going to. But I think if they don't, I think inevitably that's going to be their downfall. Is he's just not going to have anybody to throw it to.
Well, I mean, Godwin's still good. We're acting like Gronk and AB aren't fucking coming back. Fournette's still good. They still have Rojo. They're going to
It's
be
not even that
fucking
they're not
fine.
coming back. It's like that they're not what they for a championship team. Everything has to go right, and Gronkowski showing up every game looking like fucking RoboCop isn't helping.
The thing is, though, is he's been looking like RoboCop.
I know, but still, he's only getting older.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I think they'll be fine. Let's move on to the 4:00 games. Carolina, they welcome back Cam as he leads the Panthers to beat the Cardinals. Panthers absolutely whipped the Cardinals 35-10. What do we think about this game?
Hard to judge when the Cardinals don't have Kyler.
I think it was a nice coming back game, but I don't see any substance to Cam being back on the Panthers.
I don't know if I want to say it. All right, you know what? Fuck it. I'll say it. Murph,
Thank God.
Carolina's being the 7th seed. They're getting in the playoffs.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I agree. Let's go.
Because, I mean, if you look at the rest of their schedule, they've got Washington, they've got Miami, they've got Atlanta,
Win.
then they've got Buffalo.
Loss.
I think they split the 2 games they have left with Tampa, and they play the Saints, which is probably a win. That's 5 more wins. That puts them at 10-7.
Woo!
Probably going to get you in the playoffs.
I mean, when Cam went back there,
Yeah,
I sent
baby.
you guys the text message from Major League just saying they're still shitty. So I got they're still shitty.
I agree with you.
I'll say
I'm
it.
in.
I don't want to say it, but that's my gut, because that 6 and 7 spot right now in the NFC is so up for grabs.
Who the fuck do we trust? The Atlanta Falcons to make the playoffs?
I mean, right now the 7 seed's a 4 and 5 team.
You don't like Kyle Pitts?
No, I don't like Matt Ryan. Let's talk about this. Next 4. Yeah, I agree, Morgan. Next 4:00 game, Minnesota versus the Los Angeles Chargers. The Vikings win 27-20, dashing my hopes for the Chargers to win the AFC West.
It's gonna come down to like the last game.
I thought they were going to be able to win these close games, and they're
you
not.
know what's crazy is the last game of the season is Chargers Raiders. It's the game for the jersey.
Is it though? I honestly think Kansas City's probably still going to win this division somehow.
Do we live that game?
I mean, if it's for the jersey, we have to.
Oh, you kind of
You have to.
Except for the fact I work on Sundays, so good luck with that.
Yeah, you
so
call
Jeff
out
Bezos and tell him you can't come in. Like,
Jeffrey Bezos. Yeah.
all
right.
He owns that company anymore.
Let's move on to a game that I don't think not one of the 3 of us cared about. Philly beats Denver 30-13. Does anybody care?
You don't think any of us cared about that game?
No.
You were right.
Yeah, no, I didn't care at all.
Okay, let's move on to the important 4:00 game for the big dog. The tundra was frozen at Lambeau. The defense was perfect for the Packers, but it sounds like there was a major injury to Aaron Jones. DK Metcalf, per Morgan, not per me. You're a punk ass bitch. You're down.
Jesus.
You're down to jack shit all game. Shut the fuck up. Packers win 17-0. That was the note.
Morgan is just having full out arguments by himself.
So a part of that is one, I hate Seattle with an absolute passion.
Now why?
Everybody knows why. Sure, a fake made up bird that fucking can eat shit and die.
Does everybody know
made
why?
up bird?
Did you just make that up? I don't think I've ever heard it.
A Seahawk is a real bird.
Sure.
Yeah, I just made that up. It's great.
But I don't like Seattle. For DK to be a little bitch like that, down 17-0, you're gonna walk away, and then all of a sudden turn around, grab a dude's face mask, get all up in his face, talking shit when you literally have done 3 catches for 26 yards on our third fucking corner that you can't even beat, who's a walk-on player from a different practice squad, and you can't do shit, and then you throw a fist and get ejected from the game, and you want to talk that shit?
How about we focus on the game? Talk about the Packers in the game. Let's not talk about DK. He doesn't deserve the spotlight. The Packers won the game. Talk about the Packers, Morgan. Go ahead.
I mean, the fucking defense. This might be the first time since we've had Aaron Rodgers.
It's a Seahawk, Morgan. Look.
Sure. Cool.
That's not real to you?
It's not teal and green, so.
It's not teal and green.
Yeah.
He's got certain standards. I don't know what you want from me.
Who cares?
Go ahead, Morgan. Keep going.
Fuck, man.
I hope it becomes an endangered species.
I had a really good joke that I'm going to tell you guys after we stop recording.
It's great.
Remind me.
Dude, hold on really quick. I don't mean to interrupt. They just showed the strip in Vegas, and I was like, oh, baby. Let's go back. Sorry, Morgan, go ahead.
See, I lost all my thunder now. The defense is...
The defense. Sorry.
It's the first time since we've had Aaron Rodgers as our quarterback. I think our defense is better than our offense. I really do. There's.
You think the Packers defense is like the selling point?
Yes, I do. Because
now, actually, I don't know if I'll disagree with you, because the last game their defense shone with the Kansas City Chiefs. So.
Part of that reason is this year, unlike last year and the last 2 years, is Green Bay is not finishing drives. Like put up
because Mason Crosby fucking stinks.
Mason Crosby's
he's missed quite a few fucking field goals,
and he's won way more games than he's lost us. So leave Mason Crosby alone.
It's his last year. Get him out.
It is definitely not his last year.
You hold on to people way too long. You know that? You know that? Like, people that play for the Packers, you hold on to hope for way too fucking long. When they're done, Mason Crosby is as done as could be.
He's not
missed
done.
4 field goals in a fucking game for Cincinnati.
He missed 6 in a fucking dome in Detroit in 2013.
But that's bad. He's old now. He's old, Morgan. It's over.
Vinatieri was kicking till he was 47. Janikowski was 45. Morton Anderson was 48.
Vinatieri's got the toe rings to back it up.
Yeah, I mean, like, come on. You can't compare Crosby to Vinatieri. Are you kidding me?
Are you like kicker of all time?
Well, that's not true. But
who's better?
Tucker.
What? Where are his championship rings?
He's got 1. That's all he needs. He's a far better kicker than Adam Vinatieri.
No. Hard disagree.
I literally said that last week, and Matt agreed.
Here's the thing, though. I want to see Justin Tucker in the snow in Foxborough hit that kick against the Raiders in the snow. I don't think he can do it.
How many years has he been playing?
Who, Tucker?
Yeah.
I mean, Tucker is really good.
12, I'm guessing.
When do you think he's done?
Hit a 65-yard field goal.
No, I said, when do you think he's done?
15 years.
I think
Travis Kelce's really good.
I want to have a kickers debate.
I'm in.
You want to do punters after that?
I want Vinatieri versus Tucker.
Why don't we do Little League World Series crying kids too?
First of all, Big Al is taking anyone yard.
Hitting dingers.
Easy.
All right. Let's move on to the Sunday night game that's currently going on. It is 7-7 Chiefs Raiders. Who we got winning this game?
I think the Raiders are going to win.
I'll take the Chiefs.
I was gonna,
I think the Chiefs are just not it this year.
I gotta trust my pick, and I gotta go with the Raiders.
Okay.
I honestly think they're the better team. I really do. Derek Carr is not as reckless with the ball as Patrick Mahomes is, and I think their defense is far better than the Chiefs.
I don't think the Chiefs are that good this year. So
I think that they're still going to make the playoffs and probably win the AFC West.
you think they make it to the Super Bowl?
No, but they're still going to win the AFC West.
Yeah.
All right, Monday night game, Rams versus San Fran. Odell makes his debut. What do we think happens in that game?
Not much.
I wasn't talking about Odell. What do we think just happens in the fucking game?
Oh.
Jesus Christ. Oh.
Yeah, I think the Rams will win.
Agreed.
But other than that, I don't see any.
Morgan, are you
Too
taking the
exciting.
troll pick, taking the 49ers?
How'd you know?
Are you asking the guy sitting in his basement with a cheese hat if he's going to be a troll?
I think Odell is a cancer patient. I mean, he's a cancer to his locker room. I really think he brings that locker room down. I think the 49ers are going to win this game.
Okay, man. I thought basketball talk was over. I didn't realize we were going to hear about Kevin Garnett this soon. I mean, I'm going to agree with Morgan. All jokes aside, I think Odell is not really a good fit anywhere right
No.
now.
I think he's going to
So-
be fine.
Yeah, I mean, but that what does that say though? He's
I
gonna be
mean,
fine. Like
Is he
think-
going to replace Robert Woods? Because I don't think so.
In a couple weeks, yeah, he'll be fine. He'll get the
I
offense.
would take Woods over Odell.
I think that's a wild take.
I think he's at this point in his career. I think he's very overrated.
He's washed.
Agree to disagree.
Washed king.
Hashtag Wash King.
To be a king, you have to have won something. He ain't won shit.
Morgan, obscure sports quarterly. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing was UFC Fight Night. Max Holloway becoming the first UFC fighter to land 3,000 strikes in the UFC, which is insane. He wins in a unanimous decision and potentially the fight of the year versus Yair Rodriguez. Dudes were just throwing bombs the whole game. It was a high level intensity fight, as most Max Holloway fights are. Just crazy fight. Holloway comes out with 3 takedowns, which he's never done in the UFC. It's just wild. I mean, you gotta love anytime Max Holloway fights, you gotta watch. The dude is just electric.
Yep. Great Warzone player.
He's pretty good. Not as good
Max-
as my boy Sugar Sean, but
Max, if you ever want to play, let me know. I'm in. Sugar Sean had a
Sugar Sean looks like a fucking crack baby.
Sugar Sean had a wild quote about the Henry Ruggs thing, and I can't remember it off the top of my head. And now it's gonna bother me that I can't remember it. Oh, yo, he referred to the dog that died in the fire as a hot dog.
Jesus.
That's what it was. And I was like, yo, like, come on, man. Like, I mean,
Kind of a
that's a
not so funny
yeah.
joke.
that's a Zoink Scoobs joke.
I mean, it's
Good pun with a dog. Nice.
Nick,
Guess
as
what?
Nick,
Guess
as
what?
being
My
the
reference-
podcast comedian, how do you feel about that joke?
I mean, I'll take any joke. I don't think anything's really offensive, but I think my joke that I just said about Scooby Doo is better than his joke. So,
Boom.
and I wasn't even fucking
I
trying.
mean, mine was better than both. So
All right. Next question to end the week. Let's get out of here.
Whoa. Hold the fuck on.
What am I missing?
I mean,
come on, how could you forget
we're
the
not
Seattle
gonna get outta
Kraken
here.
minute? What's wrong with you?
We're not gonna get out of here unless we release the Kraken.
Go ahead, gentlemen.
Obviously, last week they fell to the Wild 2-4. All of the Kraken's points coming in that third quarter, trying to make a late push. Did not happen for the Kraken.
It's the
We've
third
seen-
quarter, third period.
Third period, I'm sorry. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. I still got faith in this team. I've never lost it.
No, support's never
I
waned.
mean, 4-10-1. They're going up against the Blackhawks next week.
Yeah, I mean
I
I feel like that's a good win for us. I feel like that's a really good opportunity for
I
a
think
very good game for us. A game we can win.
I think it's easy. I think it's an easy win. I think we're going to take it home, and I think we're coming on this podcast on Thursday night with our heads held real high
Nice.
after this upcoming Kraken win.
Release the Kraken.
Release
A
the
little bit of
Kraken.
breaking news out of Green Bay.
Aaron Jones torn ACL.
They believe it's a sprained MCL.
Ooh,
So that's
good news.
very fortunate. Nothing on Gary yet, because if you guys didn't see his arm,
I'm all set.
it was not good.
No bueno, my
Gotta hope
friend.
it was just a cramp.
No.
I hope it's just a cramp, Jim.
Jim, you gotta hope it's just a cramp here. Dak Prescott's ankle.
Yikes.
Joints.
It was kind of the same thing, but with an arm.
Nice. All right, now we can get to it, Nick. I apologize. Your question of the week. Go ahead, sir.
All right. I want real answers for this one. And not, and I don't want a joke answer. I don't want somebody to answer with something fucking dumb. I want real answers. If you could orchestrate the perfect Super Bowl halftime show, who would it be?
Currently living.
For me personally,
I mean, I'm fucking hoping we're not going to put a coffin on that stage. So yeah.
Oh, you're welcome for
done.
that setup.
I am done.
You're welcome for that setup.
I'm done. That's it. I'm retiring from the podcast. That's it.
Any answers?
For me personally, or just like what I think the best Super Bowl halftime show would be.
I guess a little bit of both.
Tough. It's tough, you know.
Like, okay,
I mean,
if you want to answer,
For me,
like,
it's really
what is
easy. I have an easy answer.
Nobody gives a shit if you think Taylor Swift should be riding this high and perform at the Super Bowl. Not a single person. You know what I mean? Obviously, actually, what I just said there, though, like, if you would be like, what would be the best one? Like, right now, currently, that probably would get a lot of ratings,
Yeah.
Taylor Swift. But that's not what I'm saying. Like, who do you think, what would be the best halftime show possible for you?
Depends on where the halftime show is for me. I
Or
like
the
what
Super Bowl this year.
they're doing it in LA. They're doing all like West Coast rappers, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you get Dr. Dre and shit.
Which is cool. I think that's a very like, progressive idea by the NFL. Like, I'm very excited
Why is
for
it
it
progressive?
because the NFL wants to be progressive, and Middle America necessarily does not like West Coast rappers. I'm excited for it.
That's why they threw Mary J. Blige in there.
Okay. But I'm excited for that. I mean, I think honestly, it depends on where the halftime show is. Because like Prince in Miami with the rain coming down, Purple Rain, I just like don't think you'll
That
ever
is,
beat.
I mean, to me, that's the best halftime.
I don't think you'll ever beat that halftime show. And honestly, if that's like the question, I would probably say it has to be Prince in Miami with rain coming down for Purple Rain. Like, I think that's the best halftime show you could probably get. And that's coming from me, who doesn't like, I like rap music mostly.
I
so
do
it's
think
like,
that was the best halftime show ever. But
I think
I'm
that's-
asking, like, what do you think is the best one possible right now? Like, what do you think? If you could pick the halftime show, who would it be?
let Morgan go first.
All right. Don't say Alanis Morissette to me.
I gotta think because I listen to all kinds of music.
So
And when you're
first.
thinking of halftime shows, do you want it to be like somebody who everybody wants to see, or do you want it to be somebody who's going to put on a good performance? Because like the
I mean,
weekend thing.
for me, one, it depends on who's in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Like if Green Bay's in the Super Bowl, I could care less who does the halftime show. Like when it's the Black Eyed Peas in 2010, I didn't care.
I just want to see Fergie sing the national anthem. That's all I want.
Oh my god, they're right up there with Whitney Houston. Both iconic, great.
I'm done.
See, like,
that's it. That's
I
it for the MNMS podcast.
I would like to see, like, granted, not everybody might like them, but as far as like performances go, like, I would like to see older bands like Metallica,
Yeah, that'd be
Metallica
sick.
would
Probably be cool, or like as old as they are, like
See-
AC/DC doing something, a Kiss.
For
Somebody putting
me,
on a show.
because I've seen him in concert, Kenny Chesney would be awesome. I'm not a big fan of country, but he's just so energetic and he brings a lot of energy.
Chris Stapleton at the halftime show. Could be a good one.
Matt's like, I hate that pick.
Zach Brown band.
I think
That's
Kenny
a-
would be good though.
It's not fucking football music. Football music is either rock music or rap music, which was made by rock music. It's one of
Do
the
you
fucking other.
think Kanye West could just like fucking crush a halftime show?
Probably.
No.
Yes.
I think he could.
He plays the hits. He plays the
Oh yeah.
hits.
I mean, if he plays the hits, yeah. But it's Kanye. You have no idea what that man's gonna do on any given day.
That man's
I think he
skating
could-
on stage. He is.
I think he could
skating
put on a
stage.
Pretty impressive halftime show. Despite
Oh yeah.
like, anything I think of
100.
him.
Bro, you're gonna tell me Stronger's not gonna slap in a fucking stadium? Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah. Oh,
Can't
yeah.
tell me nothing. Oh, baby.
Stronger, I think, is one of my least favorite songs by him.
It's all the time we got.
Yeah, that's it. My vote's Kanye West. I agree, Nick. I think Kanye would do it.
You know, as much as I don't really care for him as a whole, but I do think in the current status of things, he could probably put on right now the best halftime show.
I agree. Big Dog, you got anything else?
Go Pack, go! We're going to the Super Bowl, baby.
Can't wait for you guys to listen to the fucking NFC Championship.
Fuck off.
Stash, you got anything?
I mean, release the Kraken.
I take it back. That's my favorite segment now that we do. It's not next minute. It's the Kraken.
That is it for the M&N SOS Sports Podcast. For me, the man with no longer that has any hair. For the Big Dog, for Stash Cuddy. We appreciate you guys listening. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. We will catch you Thursday for our gambling picks, which I'm pushing 70%. So if you want to win that money, the NFL, start, hitting my picks.
I'll be live from Mercedes.
See you then.